Hi, this video is about AI for business leaders. My name is David Hood, and I'm CEO of 42 Robots AI, where we help organizations implement AI. And there's links to several videos that are relevant that I'll put in the description below. So first of all, let's dig right into practical versus fantastical thinking. There is a lot of fantastical thinking going on in the AI space, both among people who don't know anything about AI and among the big AI companies, and even like OpenAI and Google and all these companies, and a lot of the computer science people have a very fantastical way of thinking about this. I think that it really helps to kind of break down what is the real value here versus what is the kind of the fake value. So here's some fantastical thinking. Anytime you hear somebody really talking too much about like AGI God in X years, so Elon Musk has some fantastical thinking. I think that it's kind of popular content because it gets people, nerds, excited, which is talking about AGI or ASI or whatever definition you want to give for it, robot friends. It's like looking at a car wreck, or it's just exciting content. Same thing for Terminator. There are some people who are saying we should bomb the GPU clusters, and to me that's also kind of fantastical thinking. And then here is where it's a little bit less fantastical and more just impractical and kind of fake value, which is where somebody talks about the solution as the model and the model as the solution. This is one of the most pervasive things that I see in the industry, where basically they try to solve the problem by putting as much as they can of the problem into a model. They talk about like, okay, we're going to build a model to solve this problem, as opposed to talking about building a solution that involves a model or multiple models along with other kind of classic coding software stuff. There is real value with the modern large language models, which is the major difference from a couple of years ago. There's a lot of really cool stuff that it can do, but it can't do everything. I don't think it's going to be God anytime soon. There's a lot of pieces of the puzzle missing from a system standpoint, and there's other arguments against it. And really just when you look at like the limitations of LLMs and the amount of they've actually grown since the paper came out in 2017 that started the transformers, and then also since GPT-4 came out in April of 2023, the capabilities of the models have not improved that much. And actually, I'm expecting that GPT-5 will not be that big of an improvement over GPT-4. In fact, for a lot of use cases, it will have no improvement at all. So this is something to consider, because if GPT-4 does something well enough to where it's reliable and it does what you need it to do, why do you need GPT-5 to do it? And the answer is generally you will not, if it does it well enough. Some things are just you need to do it a certain quality, and once it meets that quality, there's not really any value in increasing the quality. It really, what it comes down to when it comes to real value is really thinking about what are the new capabilities that can be provided by large language models. And I have a video just on that, but that should be the starting place for any type of business leader going in and going, well, how can we get value out of this? How can we actually use AI to help our company be better, be more valuable? And it starts not with the fantastical, not with just trusting OpenAI to solve all the problems, not with the solution as the model. It starts with let's break down the things that LLMs can do that we could not do before. That's where you start. Now, actually, it's not entirely true, because actually what you should do, and I have this in a little bit of a reverse order, you should start with the chief AI officer. Although that person should start with the new capabilities and bring those to you as a business leader and say, are the things that we can do, and discuss that. But these new capabilities are not, they're understandable by somebody who doesn't know anything about AI. So I do think that it is possible to start there, especially if you watch my video, but I highly recommend that you have some sort of chief AI officer to help guide you through this process, to help kind of connect some of the dots. But if you're just doing this and you're not even sure if you should hire a chief AI officer, then yes, start with the LLM new capabilities. I think if your organization is of any significant size, 50 people or more, then you definitely want at least a fractional chief AI officer and probably a full-time chief AI officer at some point in the future. And then you kind of don't want to hire the AI engineer before you hire the chief AI officer. Because if you try to hire an AI engineer without somebody who knows anything about AI engineering, who's actually got experience building real world practical solutions with large language models, then how do you know who is the faker with and who's the pretender with AI engineering? Because there is a lot of people who are saying, I'm an AI engineer, when they don't know anything about how to do AI engineering. To be clear, this is not the same thing as machine learning engineer. There is an overlap in skills in that it helps for AI engineers to know some of the fundamentals of machine learning engineering, and then machine learning engineers can be AI engineers, but not necessarily. It is a different skill set to do AI engineering. AI engineering is a lot less well defined than machine learning engineering, and so it's a more challenging position. We do have AI engineers at the company that are classically trained machine learning engineers, and some that are not. And then also, I think actually AI engineering ends up actually being closer to just software engineering. Let's call it like a back-end software engineering. I think this is probably the closest thing, closer than maybe even a machine learning engineer. So somebody who understands how to build algorithms and who has experience with using LLMs inside code to solve real-world problems. And part of the challenge here is you can't find a lot of these people who actually have this experience, because the modern tools didn't come about until basically April 2023. If you want to say GPT-3, I think it's arguable to say that. I'm going to say GPT-4 when that came out in April of 2023. And in fact, a lot of people didn't get the API until summer of 2023. So it's barely over a year. How many people can really have experience with this? Especially because a lot of people have been stuck, even if they're trying to do AI engineering, and that's their title, they're still kind of stuck on the solution as the model and the model as a solution. Or like an LLM-centric solution. This is still pervasive today, and in that sense, they have not figured out really how to use these tools, these new amazing magic box tools called LLMs. And so I would highly recommend you query any AI engineer you're trying to hire or chief AI officer you're trying to hire, and make sure that they don't think of building AI-powered solutions as being LLM-centric, which means you put the LLM at the center and then everything else kind of goes around it. Instead, it should be more software engineering with LLMs at key places. Watch my AI solution video or my bad AI architecture. So chief AI officer, again, I would recommend you hire them before you get an AI engineer, and I would recommend that they have some amount of AI engineering experience. And I did mention company size. I mean, this is so important. AI, large language models specifically, as they are now, assuming no improvement for like the next 5 years, their value across just about every business process and just about every business of the world is definitely there. There's real world value. It's not super easy to mine right now. It's a new paradigm in a lot of ways. And so most people, even very skilled software engineers or machine learning engineers, are struggling with actually how to implement it. But you need to get that process started to actually start building the muscle as an organization, or be left behind by your competitors. We do sell fractional chief AI officer services, and so that is something that I think would be extremely valuable, especially if you're on the smaller side, or you just want to dabble in chief AI officer and see what it can do for you, and then go from there. Really quick, simple roadmap, and if you want a more custom roadmap, then give us a call or click the link below and sign up. We'll build a free custom AI implementation roadmap for you, kind of like a starting point for chief AI officer job, to show you that there's a lot to be done here. But basically, it all starts with the chief AI officer. Get yourself somebody at your organization, be it fractional or not, who advocates across the organization and has a leadership role that can actually push some of these things forward. Without that, you're gonna get Microsoft Copilot, which does little to nothing for you as an organization. You're going to get a lot of resistance politically, and it's going to be very hard for you. You're actually not going to be doing muscle building. You're going to be wasting a lot of time and energy. And they are the people who should hire the AI engineer. And they are also the people that should help identify low-hanging fruit. I do recommend, as your second step, and maybe even before, kind of concurrently, before you hire the AI engineer, you identify things that you can do really quickly that will provide lots of value to the organization. Or I would actually prioritize, if you have something that takes a long time but it provides a lot of value versus something that's really quick that provides real value but it's less, I would actually go for the quick one first to start to get buy-in from your organization. And then once you have the AI engineer on top of something identified, you can just go. go and try and retry. You're gonna fail. That's part of the process. This is not a simple thing. You're trying to build a very complex new tool that has some issues with it, some limitations that are not well understood into your business processes. There are going to be failures, but ultimately the value is there, and long term, if you stick to it, you will be able to, your company will not be left behind by your competitors, basically. If you're a year or two behind, that could be the difference between your company dying and your company succeeding wildly. So give us a call, shoot us a message by clicking the link below. Feel free to please like this video if you liked it, if you thought this was useful. Make a comment below, or if you have any questions or thoughts on this. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.